Hey, what's up, fantasy fans? I'm about to run down my top five in terms of wide receivers, and like I've done with the last two videos, it's going to be my top 40 is going to be posted for receivers in the description, but I'm just going to do a descript speak about the top five. I'm not going to be doing all of these rankings and why, so I'll just do the top five of every position that I'm doing. And number one in terms of receivers is pretty much the consensus number one for everybody, and that's Antonio Brown. And it's really not even much to say about it, because when you have the type of season that he had last year, and when the system changes, the system is no changes, the receiver core is the same, the quarterback is the same, and there's more camaraderie between the offensive coordinator and Ben Roethlisberger in terms of Todd Haley and him getting along. Everything seems to be in sync now. The system is just going to be more of what you see. You don't expect Antonio Brown to repeat what he did last year, but if he's anywhere close, he's still the number one. So when you've got a situation where there is no difference or no alteration from greatness, you stick with the greatness. So that's the clear, and I don't have to do any stats or any of that to say why Antonio Brown's number one. Number two is basically my number two through number five. Any of them could have been 2, 3, 4, or 5. But I'm just going with gut with all of these. And my number two is Demaryius Thomas. When you have that target and when you have that quarterback in that system, you just got to feel good about it. Demaryius Thomas is so big, so talented, so fast, and so solid in all that he does. It's just a beautiful thing to watch him play. Peyton Manning is getting his bearings in order in terms of last year having that disappointing end to the season, but it's going to be solid this year in terms of, it seems like he's straight. It seems like his leg issues are behind him, and he's entering the true twilight. So I know he wants to go out on a winning note or on a successful note, because this could very well be his last season. Who knows? But in terms of Demaryius, this could very well be his best year, because he's getting to that point where he's truly in the peak, not peak, but truly entering his prime as a player. So expect him to do even more, and hopefully he has a good start as opposed to last year where he had that slow start and a lot of people were feeling he was going to be a bust. So, trust it. Looks like it's going to be good. Dez Bryant, just like I said, he could have easily been number two. Contract situation is clear. The Dallas offensive line is still rock solid, so the offense is still going to be good. It's going to give Tony Romo the time to do what he does. I'm real high on Tony Romo this year. He seems to have his confidence up, and it seems like Dallas has a chance to actually make some noise. And Dez is one of the most exciting and hungry players out there. Hopefully he won't get stale because he got the money that he wanted and he operates. But he's usually been one to do the performing and leave it out there on the field. Really hard worker and uber talent, just as talented as any of the best on this list. So I expect Dez to show out this year. And like I say, he could easily be at the top of this list at the end of the year or whatever. As long as he stays healthy, he gets hit with an injury here, but he's a very tough player, even though he gets hit every so often with injuries that limits him. He always plays through it. But that's another reason, durability. So Dez is, if you're able to get him as your first receiver, you're doing very good. Julio Jones is going to be my fourth receiver. In my opinion, and maybe this is just hope, this is going to be Julio's year. It has to be. They've got a new regime, new head coach. Matt Ryan knows that he's got to make this happen to keep the fans in line, because Atlanta has had all this talent for years and have squandered it with the opportunities. But this year has to be the year that they get it together. And I believe the Julio-Matt Ryan connection is going to be electric this year. The Roddy White thing is coming to a point to where it's not as solidly effective as it should be. But this Julio thing, again, talent that surpasses almost anyone on this list. And I think this is going to be the year it shows, as long as he can stay healthy. That's always what it's about with Julio. And when it comes to fantasy, there's nothing you can do about health. It's the part of the game you have no control about. But I just have this gut feeling that Julio is going to have a monster year this year. So look forward to seeing some great things out of Atlanta and out of Julio in particular. And my number 5 wide receiver, another example of who could have been number 2 and on, Odell Bekham Jr. Everybody knows about the man who came out of nowhere and was the waiver wire addition of all time. I mean, one of the best waiver wire receivers of my 10, now 11 years of playing this thing. So, well, this is my 10th year, I think. Okay, but yeah, out of all of that, this is one of the most pleasant surprises I ever was able to get off the waivers on most of my teams last year. And I expect the New York Giants offense to be much more of what it was turning into towards the end of the season, solely because of him. He's so good that he has me high on Eli Manning as a quarterback. I've not even opposed to waiting late in drafts to take Eli simply because of Odell Beckham. Victor Cruz is back in line. Still have Ruben Randall. Larry Donnell is still there. All of the pieces from last year are there, and everything's in one place. Only problem, Odell has one of those hamstring issues that was troubling him last year and all of last year too, and it's still not 100% from my understanding. If he's able to manage it like he did last year, no harm, no foul. But it kind of worries me, but not enough to steer away from his talent. The guy is too good. Everybody saw the catch. I don't have to talk about that, but everything he does is just so outstanding. So if you're able to get any of those 5 guys, and so many more on this list, the receiver core is the deepest core in all of the football positions in fantasy. The receivers is deeper than everybody. Of this list is going to be 40 deep, and any of these 40 players will be solid additions in fantasy. So yeah, just that's the top 5 for me. And like I said, I'm going to post the rest of the list, or the entire list rather, in the descriptions. Feel free to subscribe here. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Spread the word so others can follow. And just so you know, I am going to be doing waiver edition videos, free agent pickups, just like last year, every week, I want to say Tuesday, just like before. It's going to be a little bit more time consuming because I got more going on this year, but I'm still going to do it because it's a lot of people that's wanting to hear it, but I want to grow the fan base even more. So spread the word. I'm gonna do my best to get it going, so let people know. All right, when we'll be doing I think it'll be the last video will be tight ends, and then I'll be done with this, unless I do some type of video of I may do another video before the start of the season of some sort if somebody's got a request, but this might be it after the tight end video. So, but other than that, stay tuned for the rest of the season and the waiver wire additions. All right, y'all have a good one.